Hello my friends, hope y'all are doing well. This is a collaboration between CLOUGH42 and myself. This is a casting he needs, and because of the project, if you're wondering, I don't know if you're able to see that, but it's got Windy Hill Foundry on the casting. The idea around it was, instead of charging him for it, sometimes it's better to come up with ways to advertise your product. This way, in future videos he makes, hopefully that'll be visible for people to see my logo. With that said, he did a beautiful job on it. It is super slick. I thought it was resin, but it's mighty light, but I think it's going to work just fine. He also went through the effort to put me a thread that matches my pull tool in the back. Notice he has nice rolled radiuses on every edge. He shouldn't have any problem when he gets ready to machine this. Now, one of the other things we're going to do, if I can get away with pouring it just like that, I'm going to go ahead and put 4 little risers right up here. A couple would be sufficient, but because of the thickness of this, we don't want Clough to have any less flatness issues than we can get away with. I think 4 of those little ice cube risers will be just right, and they're easy enough to cut off. Guys, I think most of you know what this is. It is a mini-mite muller. This particular one, we keep it permanently set up for mulling the Petrobond over here, and that way we don't cross-contaminate it by using the same muller for the green sand. When we have events at the CLOUGH Museum, we always take this with us now. I want to add that Keith Rucker spotted this on Facebook Marketplace, of all things. So Keith just came by today, and he delivered yet another mini-mite sand muller. This one was a gift from my good friend Andrew Alexander of Blacksmith Tools in Dallas, Texas. Andrew, I can't thank you enough for this. This will keep us from having to clean the other one out during the events. We'll use this one designated strictly for green sand, and we'll keep the other one strictly for the Petrobond. These things are hard to find, and for me to have a matching set is amazing. Ah, okay. We need a fuse. Ah, now that's better. Shoot ya. Well, Andrew, this thing runs smooth as a sewing machine. Thank you, buddy. Before we get started, let's make sure there's no snakes. All right, I think we're good. Okay, my friends, this one is going to be a little different. We're going to bottom feed. It will be in the mold like this, and it's going to feed from the bottom. Now, see how close I am to the bottom here? So we're going to need to put an insulating blanket under it anyway. So I'm going to cut my sprue all the way through down to the bed layer that this is going to be on. And from there, I'll cut my runner and feed it from the bottom. We're going to put a filter trap in it, so I am going to set it, I'm going to probably put it about right there. Because of the humidity, I'm going to put some dust on it, rub it in really good. Let's bring it over here where it's a little more in line with my back. And I got a lot of moisture. All right, so I'm going to take this, see that sand sticking to it? Come on. Really? Welcome to my world, guys. Got a whole bunch of straight edges I'll be knocking out tonight. So I wanted to go ahead and get this done, get the video done where I can edit it before Saturday. I have 17 days left of driving to Jackson, and those days will be over. I can't tell you how much I am looking forward to that. Now, this is an extremely slow go. If I were making more than one of these, I would take the time to go ahead and make a little metal shield to go around the perimeter of this by about 1/8 of an inch. And then from there, I would back it with regular sand and then pull the shield out. But hopefully this will cast right the first time. By the way, I want you guys to do me a favor. It was Mr. Pete's birthday yesterday. And of course, by the time this video gets out, it'll have been at least a week probably from the time I put this out. Go to his last video and in his comments, wish him a happy birthday. He'll be scratching his head trying to figure out what's going on. So what really makes this take forever are these little avalanches. Right as it gets up to the crown, it slides off. And right as you think you're about done, that happens. Little avalanche. That's a brown recluse. I shared a little bit about this in my last video, but I'm going to be getting a very big, heavy-duty muller. They're going to be bringing it up here probably, you know, if they bring it up here before I load this video, I'll include it. I figure it'll be a couple weeks yet. I'm going to speed this process up a little bit. Try to minimize the avalanche a little bit. You know what, I'm going to use this one. I told you we got to put an insulating blanket of sand here. Now I am going to cut some keys in this. Not to beat that dust out of there any more than we have to. We'll take our happy little rammer now. I'm going to disassemble this and reassemble it with the bottom up. That way we're not damaging any of the mold. So we're going to start off with this piece. That there. Now I'll set this back up. Brushing that down past the tangent line. I placed my penny over the pull hole. You want to make sure the head is up and the top of the head is in this direction. I'm messing with you, it don't matter. I'm going to dust it again because we don't want this sticking. This is the cope. I got a bunch of metal in this. I mean a bunch. I need to go through with a magnet and get this mess out of there. Alright guys, so you see how far I gotta go with this sprue? Can you see that whole thing? No? Well anyway, in order to go through the first two and punch into the bottom, I'm gonna have to be down, yeah, that's the top of the bottom. I think that's it. I'm going to separate each piece, and I want to make sure I put them back together in the same order they came apart, right? Real clean, that's really good. Let's see how well this pattern pulls. Absolutely no sand stuck to the lettering. My hats go off to CLOUGH. Outstanding. The way patterns are supposed to pull right there. I've got to punch down. We're going to fill this from the bottom up. Kind of made a mess down there on that face, but I'm not worried about that. That's going to get machined off anyway. So right here I'm putting a radius where it crumbled out on me. Now I could have squirted that with water. Can't get my lighter to work to get my torch to work to dry the sand back out. I can hit that with the grinder and clean that right up. So now we got to take this off and we got to cut our gate up under that. I'm going to put a filter trap about right here on that next half. Alright, so I have set the middle piece over now. I'm going to cut a trap in it ever so lightly, about right here. Idiot. That doesn't go there. Sorry guys. Yeah, when you get 4 hours of sleep a night, that kind of stuff happens. So the filter trap's going to go right here. And because I have already went pretty deep, I'm going to keep this shallow. The bottom piece is already on the conveyor. The iron's going to come through this hole and it's going to run across that gate. It's going to hopefully catch any trash right here. And then from here it's going to feed right through here. You know what? I don't go any deeper, but I can go wider. Yeah. So hopefully any trash that gets past that pouring basin, which it shouldn't, right? If I keep that basin full the first hit, the density of the iron should keep any trash floating on the top of the basin the whole time this is filling below it. But that doesn't always work. We're going to have a very low turbulence of iron coming out of that hole and filling this up. And then from here, we're going to put the risers. I forgot the freaking risers. Now we're going to have to hand cut the risers in that. Awesome. And I'm going to put a radius right there. All right, I like that. Well guys, if you're new to this channel, that is not the way a pour should go. The crucible was not seated right in the shank. As I went to pick it up, I tried to resolve the issue before I ever picked it up and walked over here. It was not going to set down right. With that said, I was not able to rely on the cradle to guide me steady, and I had to let the crucible flop over against the mold and then gradually lift it. Now if you'll notice in the video, I did not aspirate. That's the key to pouring a good mold. You do not want to suck air and then dump more iron down in there, try to chase it. It never works that way. Well, this is it. It looks pretty good. But I'm not sending him this. Or this will not be the one he's going to machine for his video anyway. If you look right there, a little bit of the D right here broke off. The other D looks good. All the other features look really good. Now this has nothing to do with the pattern. I just didn't catch that when I was making the mold. And we have another issue. Now before I show this to you, I can do some stupid things, guys. I knew better than to do this. But as I said earlier in the video, when you're running on 4 hours of sleep a night, common sense kind of goes out the window. So notice how most of your mass, or your centroid, is about right here. Well, I should have had a large diameter riser right there in that center. And I didn't. So I had some shrinkage. A good 160 thousandths, I think, from here down. Felt good on the edges. But right here in the middle, where most of the mass is, it just sucked it right down. I should have known that. I wasn't thinking. The other issue we have is a flake of graphite down in there. I know that because I was able to take a little wire and it just brushed right out. What happened was I had a little flake of graphite get past me from the crucible. That it was a little flake that came off the crucible and washed right down below the pouring basin and wound up in here. Yes, we're going to recast this again. James will be machining this on the videos, so as you know, as I said, I'm very self-conscious about stuff like that. With that said, the next time you see me, I will officially be semi-retired. From the beginning of this video, which started probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, it's taken me this long to finish it. I have 6 days left now. So this is Friday, and Thursday's my last day of next week. I'm very excited. We have a ton of work to get caught up on out here. It's not like I'm not going to have anything to do. And I'm not complaining. I mean, that's what I signed up for. And as I had mentioned in that last video I put out prior to this, we got a whole bunch of stuff that's in the that's on the back burner right now, waiting to get cast, along with trying to keep up with the straight edges. On top of that, my latest thing to come across the table is a cast iron panel that came out of a balcony rail in New Orleans, and there was some theft involved. The construction company ended up having to replace some of the panels, and they got me involved, and I'll show you more on that in the next video as well. And check out CLOUGH42's channel, where he does an exceptional job making this pattern. As I said earlier, he did an awesome job. This pulled perfect, and it pulled a little too easy. That's one reason I crumbled the sand on here. I was expecting it to be a little harder to get out, and I was wrong. This glided right out, so it took very little wrapping. Probably, if any, I'll be able to tell you for sure on the next mold. Anyway, if you want to see this pattern made, check out his channel at the end of this video. Alright guys, I hope y'all have a good day, and be safe, and I'll talk to you later. For those who have been asking about the Windy Hill Foundry hats, these are now available on my website, windyhillfoundry.com, under stores, or you can click on the above link. These are on the pricey side, but keep in mind the shipping is included. Have a good day.